Despite the authorities telling us that the law is working well, I'm back on the road and off to meet another dad who has been left with the bare shreds of his life. Once again, this parent had to go to the Court of Appeal to get a smacking conviction overturned, but he's still fighting to be reunited with his kids. Surely they didn't get it that wrong yet again.
I had full custody of the children, which was agreed to by the children's mother. The boys were unhappy and wanted to see their mother, and they could see she was struggling and having problems, so we invited her to come and stay at our house. She managed to find a new place to live, and she got herself a part-time job, and it was 11 days after she moved into a new place that she got custody of the kids based on the allegations. And then all of a sudden it just goes messy.
Can you tell us the difference between parenting styles between you and your ex-partner?
The court actually wrote this piece, which I think probably sums it up quite nicely. Tensions arose over the parenting styles. I had imposed a disciplined regime upon the boys. I required their attendance at school and completion of homework and household chores as a priority to participation in leisure activity, particularly playing computer games or watching TV. My ex's approach provided a sharp contrast. For example, she allowed the boys to do as they wished, including being absent from school if they didn't want to attend. I wasn't beating them up, I wasn't abusing them, I wasn't doing anything out of the ordinary that any normal parent in the right frame of mind wouldn't be doing.
How did you end up with the charges in the first place?
My ex put the charges against me after an incident where I had smacked one of the children on the bottom. The allegations were that I had hit the children with an open fist. On multiple occasions, I had beaten one of them up with a computer keyboard. I had attacked them with a samurai sword. I had sexually abused both children. I think that's enough really, isn't it?
Right, so would you agree that the police and SIPs should take these allegations seriously?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they should take the allegations totally seriously, and had they actually done their job and investigated properly instead of making a decision based on a gut feel, had they actually come into the house and spent time and watched and looked at and read the references from the neighbours, talked to people locally that knew us, talked to people who'd stayed and lived with us, they might have come to a different conclusion. I actually went to SIFS and complained to them and said to them, look, all this stuff is going on with the ex in the house, and they knew what was going on, and they didn't do anything. They just, the moment the allegations were made against me, they jumped on the bandwagon. In total, I think there was about 10, 12 charges. And the only charges I got convicted on were charges for assault on the grounds of parental correction for smacking them on the bottom.
What was the outcome of those allegations?
I was only convicted on my own statement, which is, yes, I have smacked the kids on the bottom once or twice when they've been naughty children. And that's what I was convicted on. Half a dozen smacks to both kids in the period of their lives. Let me read from the court papers. He used his hand, not a weapon. He administered the blows for correctional purposes only. He did not participate in gratuitous violence, and what he did had been lawful for most of the boys' lives. If they had talked to people that had known me and the kids in the environment that we were in, they would have known that there was nothing wrong. In total, I think in the district court there were 45, 50 recommendations from people ranging from justice of the peace, nurses, doctors, policemen, prison wardens, the local dairy owner, the teachers that they'd had in the past. All these people put positive recommendations through, really, really, really positive recommendations, and they all stuck by me, and they knew the kids well.
What was the effect of the conviction with your work?
The stain is there to stay, and the stain wasn't just work-wise, it was personal life was damaged. I lost my health, couldn't find a job, and even going to McDonald's and knocking on the door on countdown, they wouldn't give me anything because I had convictions and pending convictions. So I was pretty much sidelined. So you had to go all the way to the Court of Appeal to get... Off the conviction for smacking? Yes, yes, absolutely. The report came through from the Court of Appeal. I was vindicated, and the comments by the previous judge were completely squashed. Can I just ask you what the total legal costs or your lost income through this whole thing? Legal costs, well, I've been in court, in and out of court so many times I couldn't tell you, but I would say it's going up to $100,000, if not more, probably more. the cost to the rest of my life, well, being branded a paedophile in your local community is pretty horrible too. Had things thrown at me, got shouted at, screamed at, attacked a couple of times. So the overall cost is not just a tangible dollar value, it's the whole social value that I've got there as well. So I became a hermit. I stayed in the house for 3 months, I didn't leave.
The thing is, you were acquitted by the court. You know, then you got your children back?
No.
You were acquitted?
No, I was acquitted by the court, and I didn't have my children back. I tried to see my children, I couldn't see them. So it ended up going to the family court again. And the most I could ever get from the family court was supervised visits.
So the Court of Appeal has found you not guilty?
Correct.
But the family courts are treating you like a criminal.
I'm stuck with the love for my children or the love for freedom. What do I do? Which do I take? Do I stay hanging on for my children in an environment where I can't earn money, where I'm living in a pretty poor situation, and I've got the stigma of being a child abuser hanging over my head, or do I leave and go somewhere else and just forget the children like it seems it's reported that most males do anyway? Damned if I do and damned if I don't at the moment. It's damaging the very children that it's supposed to be protecting.
John Key said that good parents wouldn't be affected by the smacking laws. That means you're a bad parent.
I don't think so. But then I'm not a parent anymore, am I? I'm still a dad, but as for parenting, I'm not doing any of that. I'm under the scrutiny of a supervisor when I see my children for the hour and a half that I see them. So John Key says that good parents won't be affected by the anti-smacking law. Well, that's right, they won't be affected. They'll just be removed from being parents.
I'm angry because that man was proven in court to be a good father, but he's ended up with a conviction for smacking, he's lost his job, and now he's lost his children. What is wrong with that picture?